Hi, this is Lisa Peterson. I'm so glad that you've joined me again for the second part of this series to create more mindful wealth in your life. There I was, stuck in an elevator. A man had walked into my doctor's office just a few minutes before and started shooting people. I was terrified that I would never see my family again, and I remember thinking, is this how it ends? I definitely had not had the chance to do what I was here for in this life. And I felt like I had been missing out, and now it might be too late. In that moment, I felt how my fears had held me back and kept me from living a life on purpose. And I decided that if I lived, nothing would ever be the same. And it hasn't been since. That was the day that I stopped letting my fears get the best of me. That was the day that I decided to move beyond my fears and finally start a business that I had wanted to start for as long as I could remember. That was also the day that I decided to get really in touch with my inner power. Even if I didn't know where to find it, I knew that there was something more that I hadn't even tapped into. And again, nothing has been the same since that day. I bought the URL for Wealth Clinic a few days later and started building a website and finding people that could help bring my vision into reality, which I feel is such an important part of our lives that we don't even realize is available to us. A few months after the shooting, I went to Wisdom 2.0 for the first time, a mindfulness conference. And it was there that I began speaking with people that in the past I would have been too scared to reach out to. Having a deep, meaningful conversation with Brother David Steindl-Rast about Christian mysticism, which we both share a passion about. And next, engaging in a conversation with Roshi Joan Halifax about the PTSD that I was experiencing and how meditation could help me move from the parasympathetic to the sympathetic nervous system. And finally, in follow-up to that conference, reaching out to Arianna Huffington to tell her about my story and ask if I could blog about money and mindfulness for the Huffington Post, which she immediately responded and welcomed me aboard to this amazing opportunity to blog. You see, when we stop letting our fears guide us and instead step into our true selves, miracles happen every single day, I promise you, which is how life is really meant to be lived. And knowing that I'm on this mission now to help people realize, without having to, engage in tragedy like I did, that there is so much waiting for us to be experienced in life. Mindfully being present with a smile on our face, not because life is going perfectly, but because we're discovering the perfection within each of us. So tomorrow I'm going to be speaking about the ways that we end up settling in our lives and missing out on so many opportunities as a result. You are not going to want to miss this conversation. I promise. Namaste.